what do you think about Amazon being added to the Dow? And is it significant to the Dow Jones and to the stock market that Amazon is now part of the Dow Jones?
Absolutely. I think the way that the Dow has been structured for the longest time may need to change. There are some companies in the Dow that probably need to be replaced 3 or 4 years. I know they have their process. Kudos to Dow Jones Incorporated. We'd love to be a board member. So if you have room for 3 more seats, let us know. But I think it's going to definitely help the stock. While NASDAQ has run up a lot, Dow Jones has not had the same parabolic effect. And I know that the Dow 30 is weighted to give you a lot more safety, but I think they've missed out on some of the better companies that should be in their indexing. So I do like this move. It definitely, I think, will bring a lot more eyeballs on Amazon on the institutional side.
You think?
It help the Dow? I think so. For the laggard investor, who was still maybe like anti-tech because they were big on utilities or oil and gas for the last for 60 through 80, that laggard crowd, it'll definitely put them in some different funds that they wouldn't have been in before.
That's a good point. I wasn't thinking about the laggard crowd. I mean, technology. When you talk about the laggards, we can't mention this story without saying who they replaced, right? So Walgreens, which was, I mean, when you talk about laggards,
Walgreens should have been out.
Right? It should have been out. So that I get that part. What does it do for Amazon? I'm not sure. I feel like being in the Dow for Amazon is just a prestige thing. Now they're part of the Dow 30, right? It feels like when you're an all pro, right? Like you're the greatest in the league, and here's the proof. Like you've made it to the all pro team. Amazon's been great. It's the number one e-commerce company, and it's the number one cloud company, and they've moved into logistics, and they're going to move into healthcare. People already know what Amazon is. They're very familiar with it. Does it help the Dow from a weighted standpoint of having tech inside of it? Yeah, it's a great company. It probably should have been there already. But I don't. Does it help the stock itself? I don't know. I don't think so.
Let's look at some of the companies that's in the Dow that should have been kicked out. Like this is Teddy Bruschi list, right? Citigroup, Intel, Boeing, Merck. Dow itself is not going to be removed, but you could argue Johnson & Johnson. Amazon could have took all those slots.
Yeah.
Intel, IBM, get them both. Like
it's the old guard.
Craig Elo out of here. Come on, like what are we talking about? That's like when people argue that the players from the 1980s are more talented than the players today. I'm like, I don't know what basketball y'all watch, but I'm seeing kids in high school do stuff that Mitch Richmond couldn't do. And shout out to Mitch Richmond, I want to smoke. Just entertainment purposes only. This joke is written by DC Young Fly. Don't pull up on me, okay? But like even 3M, IBM, Amgen, those could have been removed long ago by Amazon. You could make the case with Dara running Uber. They should be in the Dow 30.
Yeah, just another interesting fact. And I don't know if this changes anything for Amazon, how they do business, but it joins Salesforce and Boeing as the only non-dividend paying stocks. Right. So we've seen that happen. We saw Meta, buy shares back and they decided to have dividends. Will Amazon do something similar? Who knows? But that's an interesting fact to know. Yeah.
Boeing needs to replace some doors, the CEO, and off the Dow list.
So let's do this.
All the above.
Let's do this before we bring our guest on, because we talk about like topics a lot, but what's the advice that you would give somebody as far as investing? Like what's some gems that's evergreen that you can give that's not like topic related or individual stock related?
Find the sector that you love to invest in the most. So if you are big into technology, big into healthcare, let's say even utilities, find a sector that you love to invest in that you're going to put money in for 10 years. Invest in the top 2. If you're an entrepreneur, I would argue, unless your business is growing 100% year over year, you should put 40 to 50% of your capital into the market because you're going to get a higher yield than what you're getting out of your business. And then I think the most important thing is to not listen to anybody else on this journey, because then I think we go down the rabbit hole of Should I do options, futures, warrants, day trading, penny stocks? It's like if you just stay focused on a path and put money into the stocks that are winning every month, you're going to be a lot better. Like we've been doing a show for 4 years. Got to figure out what to do to celebrate, right? But for those of you who have been here since the beginning, have you made more money holding on long term or trading? Most people have made more money long term. So the tips are really simple, but it's really hard to do in terms of execution. And I think you should read every single day to get an edge in the market. Like when I'm reading a book, article, YouTube video, I'm trying to find one thing to give me an edge to add to my like investment bag that I didn't have the day before. So I want to be like the Kyrie. I want to do the crazy layup. So if I see derivatives fall, I want to look at the Nikkei to be able to go long and know that when they had to drop in 1984, it took them 6 or 7 years to be able to recover. And when they've been in this parabolic move to the upside for 10 or 15 years, look to add one thing to your bag every day to make you a better investor. And the rest is history after that if you do it. The hardest part is just sticking to the rules and not deviating.
Stay disciplined, my friends.
So how much can somebody expect to earn in the stock market if they are just starting out, or even if they like seasoned? What's a realistic number that you can say, okay, this is I'm doing good if I'm hitting this number?
That's a great question. Low end 7 to 12%. Trading and investing has considerable risk, but if you listen to me, you'll be ranging anywhere from 30 to 150%. How much are you guys up on Nvidia? Everybody put it in chat. Apple, Microsoft, AMD. You notice in the review videos, they don't clip that part up. I had a dude tell me the other day that he's never seen anybody say that they've made money with me.
Really?
Rashad, I felt like you when they start commenting about the watch thing. I'm like, what is going on with the internet? We just making up lies now. You can talk about my tonality. You can say I'm gruff at times. I'll agree to all of that. But yeah, 30 to 80%. And if you're holding a technology stock that's like best of breed over 5 or 6 years, on average, you should expect about 200 to 300% return. And any analyst will tell you that at Citadel, JP Morgan, Piper, UBS, Citadel. So
you take it. 7 to 12. That's better than a savings account.
big facts.
You take it.
Big facts.
Every time.
And to play devil's advocate, how much could you lose? Hypothetically, worst case scenario, listen to me, you may lose 30 to 50% on Square. But for the other 45 I gave, see, I'm learning. Media training.
Accountability.
I'm not perfect. No one is, but I'm working better.
So when's the best time to invest in stocks?
Every month. Like absolute best time is depression, recession. Second best time, if the market drops 20%. Like even with Palo Alto, some people was asking me about it. I'm like, well, if you loved it at the price it was at before it dropped 30%, why don't you love it now? Why?
Loved it when it doubled.
Yeah, it's like you should love it more now. And then every month or week, the market is going to correct for a stock 4 to 5%. Just buy every single month, and you'll be a-okay. Now, it's the same thing if I ask you, okay, if you build a successful media company, how often do you got to record? I ask you, hey, what you doing today? Business as usual. Like, it's almost offensive when I ask y'all what y'all doing for the day. Working. What are you doing? Working. You sick? Yeah. You work? Yeah. Go work. Great.
We're always
on a plane, coming up with ideas. Like, it's about the consistency. And once you do that, it's game, set, match.
Yeah, there's an emotional piece to it too, right? Like, and yes, we tell you to stay patient, and nobody's going to time this. But when you do see a pullback, when you see a correction, like when you saw what happened last week leading up to the earnings, when it was like, oh my gosh, they've been saying Nvidia, and now Nvidia is down to 670. Well, that's why it's
going to be fine.
You got to be in place. You have to take the initiative, right? Mm-hmm. Educate yourself. Try to learn something every day. Okay. Put yourself in position.
That's the real game, yo.
Just put yourself in position so that when things like what happened on Wednesday take place, you're in position to take advantage of it rather than being on the sideline saying, man, I should have. Oh, man, I should have. Oh, man, I should have. Yeah, you're right. You should have, but you didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be a warning to you.
And then if you're not disciplined, you bought a fake Rolex, and then you got to buy the girl who day trading at night. You got to pick your life, king. It's up to you. If y'all don't listen at this point, I don't even dirt you. It don't even matter. It's all going to work out.